Morning. It's May 2nd, and we're going to do Tiki Village over the last 2 years. I'm going to assume you already know the background for Tiki Village, and that's why I'm not going to talk about anything other than these 22 properties. This property sold for $66,000 in one day back in August of 2022, and then it subsequently resold for $145,000. This is 3427 Tiki. Now, anytime we get a property that we are considering either buying or selling, we want to use the main property appraiser info. So we go to pascopa.com. Here I am trying to point to it. If you look at my cursor, we go to pascopa.com. We go to record search. This is 3427 Tiki. And here's where we're going to get the property information that the county has. This is the tax assessed value. This is the year built. This is the living area, 1,040 square feet. And here's the previous deeds. Here's the $66,000 transaction. And then here's the $145,000 transaction that went subsequently. By the way, this was Capco Investments, a company that I am involved with. That was the purchaser. And interestingly enough, the buyer's agent down here, if you can see my cursor moving, that's Eric Jenkins. That's my brother. So let's run through the list. This was the best deal on the list, selling at $66,000 in one day. We have another sold here, $70,000. Now, this is a one bedroom, one bath, and this is going to be unattractive compared to most of the properties that we're going to look at. They were asking $75,000. They sold it for $70,000, and it ended up being $112 a square foot. 3328 Tiki was listed at $89,000. It sold for $89,900 at the asking price. This worked out to $144 a square foot. Now, this is a substandard in my opinion, and I'll highlight the one bathroom properties. 3343 Tiki is currently an active listing at $89,999. It works out to $104 a square foot. This has been on the market for 24 days, and it's got only one bathroom, so it's not going to be as attractive as any of the two bathrooms. Looks like a newer air conditioner. 3426 Tiki Drive, two bedroom, one bath, and it was a stretch to argue two bedrooms. Took 193 days. We were asking $93,500. We sold it for $93,500. This is $149 a square foot. The listing agent was Randall Jenkins. That's me. 3513 Tiki sold. They were asking $92,000. It sold over the asking price at $97,000. Took 9 days. It sold for $112 a square foot. 3712 Tiki. This is that end unit right here. It was bank owned, and we showed it a few times. A little rough. Took 106 days to sell it. They were asking $109. Sold for $103. The selling price was $107 a square foot, and that went under contract a couple of times before it finally stuck. Here we have 3440 Tiki Drive, one bedroom, two bathrooms, 109 days on the market. Very small at 624 square feet. So they're asking $184 a square foot. This might be the worst deal on the list. 3228 Cayena Point, 84 days on the market, sold for full price. Selling agent was me, Randy Jenkins. So let's look at this. 3228 Cayena Point. We always go back to the property appraiser site. 3228. Now, this one was a very difficult deal because the title had a real problem. It was a deceased, and it was sold on the courthouse steps for $61,000 in June, and then ultimately resold in April of 2023 for $115,000. And I was That was a hellish deal, actually. That had a real problem. We had a hard time cleaning up that title. All right, here's 3403 Tiki. The selling agent was me, Randy Jenkins. There's stories about this property. It took 189 days. We were listed at 118. It sold for 115. This is one of those breezeway homes. There's quite a few in the complex that have this floor plan with the outside shed and the breezeway. It's actually kind of a nice unit after we got done with it. When they're really, really bad and you update them, then they are dramatically better. All right, 3403. It's almost better if it's terrible and you replace everything. Then you think, oh, I can save this, and you do, and it turns out that it wasn't smart. 3403 Tiki. 3403 Tiki. Yeah, this one has a colorful past. This one sold for $63,000 and then ultimately sold again for $115,000. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, worked out $171 a square foot. That's because this is $672 a square foot. Now, it had a lot more area. 1,704 was the total area. Some of the square footage is not in that $672. This is an active listing, $119,999, 422 days on the market. They're asking $135 a square foot. It is a 2-2. We've showed this a couple of times. Floor's a little bit soft in some areas. They definitely have pride. It had some problems. They put in a new vapor barrier. They really, really, there it is, new vapor barrier. It went off the market for a while, 3 or 4 months, while they were doing the repairs. So the 422 is a little bit elongated. 3325 Tiki Drive sold $120,000. It worked out to $138 a square foot. It took 55 days. 3349 Tiki sold for $123,000 in 20 days. Always look at the list price. The sold price per square foot, $183. Big number. 3250 Cayena Point, know it well, asking $124,000, sold for $124,000, $135 a square foot. Randy Jenkins, hey, that was mine. No use going on there and showing what we paid for it and all, but that was a product my partner and I did. We've done a total of 5 of them in the complex. Let's see if it won't let me shut this down. Here we go. 156 days on the market. Sold for $138 a square foot. Sold at full price in 156 days. Always makes me wonder when it's been on the market for a long time and then it sells at full price. 126.9 sold for 126.9 in 1 day. Oh, nobody got a chance to look at this one. It's nice. 3540 Cayena Point sold for $132,000, which was $4,000 over the asking price, or $3,100 over, in 149 days. Again, you got to wonder, how did this thing take 149 days and then sold over the asking price? If you watch my video, Offers Beget Offers, we definitely see a pattern when something is on the market and then it sells for, 150 days go by and it sells for more than the asking price. It just happened that it had 2 offers in the same period. $134,000, $134,900, sold for $134,000, sales price $139 a square foot, 53 days. Now we're coming up into the highest priced ones. This one sold for $135,000. This was on the market for 57 days. 3628 Tiki Drive is contract pending after 29 days. They were asking $174 a square foot. This is the one that I mentioned was sold, was purchased earlier. My brother was the selling agent and my partner and I bought it. This is, we were asking $150,000. We sold it for $145,000. There I am, Randy Jenkins. And yeah, this was a really nice unit. The gentleman was rehabbing it himself, and he had some problems health wise, and he had to leave town. And if you drive down the neighborhood, Tiki, this one has this fencing out front, which is now we're told not. It's violating deed restrictions, but I think they're going to let her be grandfathered in, or maybe they're going to make her take it out. All right, this is the highest price ever paid in Tiki Village. This thing sold for $177,000. Very nice end of the. When you come into the complex and you hang a right onto the lanai, it's the furthest one in the corner, so it has that whole back area outside. This worked out to $156 a square foot. All right, I'm Randy Jenkins. Let me put up some advertisement here so you can see my information. Florida Real Estate Partners, rj409home@gmail.com. Here's my phone number, which is 727-409-4663, which is also 409-HOME. If you can't remember my number, just remember 409 Spray Cleaner, 409-HOME. I also have a website called 409home.com. And I'm here to help. Love to compete for your business. Oh, it won't let me put in the 409home. Oh, that's why. There it is, 409home.com. Randy Jenkins, appreciate the opportunity to compete for your business. Look forward to speaking to you in the future. Have a great day. Bye now.